Hello, Bogan, and welcome to the transcription explanation of these designs. So these designs were done using this script, and they have lots of these swirly sort of embellishments, which are just these line modifiers, which can swirl and curve. And what matters is where they end on the word. So anyway, let's go ahead and get to the explanation of how to read this. It all makes the most sense in context. So we have the first word for both of these as exactly the same thing, which starts at the bottom of the word circle, and then you read counterclockwise around it, like a time traveler going back in time. So our first letter is this shallow divot shape, like this one, and there are 1, 2, 3 of those line modifiers ending on it. So that makes it an S, because 3 lines, shallow divot, S. Then our next letter, going counterclockwise, is a little circle. And little circles are vowels. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 vowels in this design, and then 1, 2, 3 in this word as opposed to that word. So this vowel is right on the line of the word circle. And there's no lines coming up from it, so it's not an I and it's not a U. That means it has to be an E. So SE. Then we have these two letters. And there's a double line here, this outer one and an inner one. And because they're stacked like that, that means there's two letters of the same stem. They're both this stem, a circle inside the word circle. And we read the thin one first, and then the thick one. So consonant stems, if stacked, read thin, thick. So this thin one on the outside has 1, 2, 3 line modifiers, so that would be an M. And then the thick one has 1, 2 line modifiers, so that's a P. So SEMP. Here's another E, and then we have another shallow divot. But this shallow divot has 3 dots, so it's an R. 1, 2, 3. So SEMPER, so semper, same thing there. And then our next word in this design, here's the bottom, starts with a deep divot. So this deep divot, and it has 1, 2, 3 lines ending on it. So that would be an F. 3 lines, deep divot. And then we have an O hanging out like a bead on a string on that. So these little circles here are the vowels if they're attached to the consonant stems. So this is an O because it's in that O position on the F. So FO, here's another stacked stem just like these two, and we again read thin to thick, and this thin one has 1, 2, 3 dots, so it's an R just like that one. And then we have a T, which has no modifiers, so no dots or lines on it. And then we have an I with a line going towards the middle. So vowels with lines, the line direction matters. Everything else, the line direction does not matter. And because this goes towards the middle of the word circle, it's an I. And our last letter is another S with 1, 2, 3 lines. So this makes like a little circle here, and that's okay, because it still ends on the stem. It's not a complete circle, doesn't completely go around, so it's not an actual letter stem, which is why it's just the line modifiers on the S. So FORTIS. So here's semper fortis, and then our next word is semper, and then our next letter is also an S, 1, 2, 3 lines. So this thick one ends here and here, and then there's a thin one. And we have an I with the line going towards the middle. So FI. Then we have a deep divot with 1, 2, 3 dots, just like these 3 dots on that R. But it's a deep divot, so that makes it a D. And then we have an E, L, 1, 2, 3 dots on a circle inside the word circle, I, and then another S. And these I and S are the same here. So FIDELIS, fidelis. So semper fidelis and semper fortis. And I tried to keep the layout pretty similar between these two. In fact, I copied this design and then just did the little changes to make these two words different. So it should have nice symmetry for you. And then there's like the swirly bit at the ends, which is similar. Anyway, I hope you like it, and I hope it makes for an awesome box for you. And I know that some of these lines get quite thin, so something like a laser engraver would work the best, which I will have one eventually if you want to wait on that. Otherwise, you can get it done somewhere else. But yeah, they have a super, super fine point and should be able to get that for you. So yeah, that's your design. I hope you like it. Bye.